hear what these guys have to say about how Superman needs to have a very specific family.
I shouldn't be surprised, yet I am. The reason why I shouldn't be surprised, this is the same type of narrative the extreme left have been doing constantly. When the traditional nuclear family comes out, they say it is heteronormative, it is exclusionary, it is not embracing diversity, therefore it is fascist and evil and all that stuff. And
it is if you push it on people. It's not if you just happen to have that kind of family. Like, the point is that I don't care what your family looks like unless you are trying to push it on people. What I think this person who maybe is too woke is experiencing is that this looks to be roughly nuclear, not really. I mean, there would have to be a little kid here. These are all found families. The story is found family, obviously, in Superman. And so this person is wrong about this, but the fascist part that they kind of feel like is being signaled here is that this is depicting what someone like you, Shad, automatically assumes is heteronormative white nuclear family with a wife, a kid, and a dog, and they're white, and the American flag's back there. Like, that's what you are pushing on to this because you are a fascist. You know what I mean? So, like, I understand what this person's saying. They're wrong about the story. Like, this is what Isaiah said earlier. I saved your comment so that I could say this because you made a good point. The super family is one adopted Superman from a different universe, two different Supergirls, one Power Girl who is a Supergirl from a different universe, one son who is gay, and one clone. Not really a traditional conservative family. Yeah, so, like, obviously the story is much more than that, but the pushing this kind of normativity onto people is what's wrong. Not having it. If you just happen to have this, whatever. It doesn't matter.
A big thing that happened a couple of years back was McDonald's in Japan released some wholesome advertising of a family, animated family eating McDonald's. That was it. That's it. The Spurgs online lost their minds attacking it for being heteronormative. And it's like, what the heck is wrong with these people? When this is like
attacking things? I mean, I think sometimes you guys are snowflakes and you just freak the fuck out when one random person says stuff. This is just a random fucking poster. You have to freak out. It's like a whole thing. This is content now. Look at this guy who said this on Twitter.
The nuclear family is the bedrock of society. It's the most important unit in any society.
No, it's not. It really isn't. Clean water and fucking food and sanitation is kind of like the most important thing. It doesn't matter how your families are oriented. You could have literal, like, and Shad can even, like, conceive of this, right? He can conceive of, like, a fantasy world in which there's sex segregation and it still works under his, like, fascist oppressive regime where women do women's work and men do men's work, and then only when they couple do they, like, it doesn't matter how. Like, you don't have to have a nuclear fucking family. There are, in fact, in most places around the world, multi-generational, non-nuclear families are the most traditional thing. Like, and this is changing all the time.
We need the traditional nuclear family more than anything else. And then you wonder why it gets attacked and is framed as fascist. And there are reasons for it. John, you kind of touched on it a bit, that there is this, why does Marxism, communism seems to have a big issue in particular with the nuclear family? And one of the reasons, I think there are multiple, but one of the reasons is children, especially like just people, individuals, right, who have a family structure that looks after them, right, can rely on them to be looked after, and they don't need to rely on the state.
Okay. Anyway, I came from a nuclear family, conservative dad, grew up hunting, grew up in the woods, all the stuff, played sports. I'm straight. I got a wife. I got a fucking dog. I got a house with a fence. I got a little garden. Like, I still love, like, Medicare for all, still want the state to ensure a baseline of care for every person that exists. Like, that's what the point of collectivizing and creating a government even is to create broad stability across everybody's lives. Like, I don't want them to be in our personal lives. I want them to be a function of our collectivized resources. You want government to be like lords that you bow down to and listen to the opinions of, which is fucking cucked. I can't even deal with that. There's nothing more nuclear family right wing than saying I must have a wife and a son and a daughter and a dog and a fence, and then also for my job I get down on my knees and I gluck the nearest fucking fascist so I can beg for donos from my right wing chat. It's like this is where we're at with Shad's shit now. Like what is this even at? 3,500 views a month ago.
And that is key. Right there. It undermines the state's power and influence. And there is a reason why women...
No, it doesn't. Communists want all of your homes to be self-sufficient and for you to never have to need any of the benefits of the communist society. If that fails, if your dad dies in a horrible farming accident, or your mom gets fucking killed by a bear in the woods, like, we want you to be able to be okay. Or like, what if your dad sucks, man? Some people have dads that are bad. What is the answer in your system for that? Tough it out? No, we need a broad social system to ensure that people's standard of life is good, irrespective of the families they're born into. And through that stability, you will get these good nuclear families that you're worried about so much. Sorry to break it to you. Heterosexuals are going to be a thing forever in the human race. We're animals. We fuck. We couple up sometimes. And even if it's not full, even if we go full fucking gender segregation, sexuality is a construct anyway, we're going to fucking find that you're going to have families that look like this anyway. Even in the fully woke space communism that he fears so much. And that's because we don't give a fuck what your family looks like as long as you want to be a part of it.
Who do tend to lean more liberal when they are married. So there's oftentimes a shift where they become more conservative. You know,
yeah, family women tend to do that. Unless they marry a weak man, which Jordan Peterson goes over with that infamous interview he had with Kathy Newman, where he goes over this. He goes like, why do some of these women choose like weak men? It's because
we're citing Jordan Peterson, who died because he drank some apple juice, and he's been dying ever since. Jordan Peterson taken out by a cup of apple juice is the man that we're all dealing with. It's interesting how they all copied me and drank right after I drank. Obviously, I'm the alpha now. I was hydrating first. An all-meat diet. That's right, all meat. And then he had one sip of apple cider, and it was over.
They fear being dominated, so they want to find a man that can dominate. This is from Jordan Peterson.
They fear being dominated? This is a man, by the way, in the bottom of your screen, who's no one knows the name of and who is scared to show his face on screen. This is the man who would have you to believe that he's a big alpha, who doesn't understand movies with his fucking Ken avatar. Like, what are you talking about, man?
So yeah, it is a phenomenon that happens where they'll find a man that can dominate, and they will retain their weirdo, psycho, far left political views.
These guys have no grasp on reality. It couldn't be that women and men are left leaning because they want their personal rights to be more than the power of the state. Like, these guys don't even realize that when they vote for fascism or they advocate for it, they are advocating for the state to have more control over them while saying that's not what we're doing. And it's so pernicious, and this is across political spectrums, all the way down. The right wing says, we're not controlling you, give us power. And they go, okay. And the left goes, we should strip power from the people that are in control and give it to the working class and the voters and stuff. And the right goes, no! I don't like it. Yeah, I want the government to be weaker, and I want the individual to be stronger because of the collectivized resources of all of us lifting us up.
Which is strange because when you get down to their primal desires, what they want, they really do want a stronger male.
Why are these fuddy-duddy fucking white fudge-ass looking guys talking about dominating women? Are you fucking kidding me? None of these guys fuck. None of these guys. Are you serious? You fucking Legos here. Stop.
Kind of do want that dominance as evidenced by what they put in their literature. But I think Homeland...
Their literature? He has a rape fantasy novel. Shadiversity wrote a rape fantasy novel.
The YouTuber kind of put this best, his most recent video where he said, women do not tell you what they want. They tell you they want what's socially acceptable, and they keep what they actually want hidden unless it becomes socially acceptable. Or, you know, they're kind of in their own little environment with each other where they can kind of let that cat out of the bag.
These guys don't talk to women at all, whether they're married or not. They don't talk to them. They never had a conversation with a woman. They don't even fucking know what they are. They spend so much time in their little hug box with each other and never anybody else. Like, you guys they're incels, dude. These are grown-ass men who are all fucking incels. Oh, God, it's so pathetic.
You see how it ends up manifesting itself. This is the difference between men and women. A lot of men are direct communicators. Women are very indirect communicators.
That's not true. Any woman that is direct with you, you call a bitch. And you just don't listen. You are the little boys that everyone has to deal with. You are the emotional freaks. Like, anytime a woman is direct with these guys, they freak the fuck out.
This is why, you know, and this battle of the sex has been going on for a long time. We're in a terrible spot with it where neither side seems to know how to deal with each other, and it's really going to end up with one side like losing badly.
Oh, it's you, because you don't even know how to organize your lives. It's you. You are losing. Male loneliness epidemic, anybody? You're losing. Anybody who likes you is losing. Good luck with whatever fucking relationships you think you're gonna have in life. Like, these guys aren't even happy in their fucking marriages, bro.
Well,
this is how they talk about women, and I know Shad's married. The fuck is she doing? I know she's dumb too, but holy shit.
And that's kind of what the state wants. The ultimate kind of communist agenda is that the state wants to raise the children and indoctrinate them. And part of achieving it is undermining the nuclear family.
Who the fuck is the state? No, I want your community raising the kids at the school that you all take them to. What? The state. You are the state, man. We are the state. We are all together the state. God damn, they're so stupid. I want the military apparatus. I want these fucking oligarchs. I want these fucking corporatocracies broken the fuck up. None of the banks or any of these fucking things should have any political influence whatsoever. They're not entities. They're not people. We should have the power. These things are services that we should use or not use, depending on how we like them. That's it. And if we find that they're bad for our country, we should get rid of them. You guys are cucks.
Traditional family, okay? Because in the traditional family, children can rely on the parents, but also parents, when they get old and invalid, can rely on the children to look after them.
Ugh, it's always about this shit, dude. It's always about this, like, I need some younger person to saddle my infirmity with. And it's like, are your kids doctors? Are your kids healthcare workers? No. It's fucked up to assume that your children are going to take care of your withering old body. You need health care, idiot.
They don't need a state pension or anything like that. Like me and my wife, we are determined to look after my mother when she gets old. She's single, as also my father and her parents. Like, that's just our role. We're going to look after our parents as they get older, as much as we can with the means that we have, because that's what you do. That's the natural order of just what is good.
All right. What about someone whose kids are dead? What about someone who's never had kids? What about someone that just has one parent or not a good relationship with them? You know, like, there's just so many different things. We shouldn't have to rely on that specific type of family and specific type of well-being to be a thing. And you're not even talking about you personally taking care of them. You said with your means. You literally mean we're going to take care of them by outsourcing the labor to someone else who you do not humanize in your head. This is the same thing. I just don't want you to have to pay for it out of pocket.
This is why communism does not work, because at the very root of everything they try to put, it's about replacing normal human basic psychological needs with being fulfilled by the state.
That's not at all what's being proposed by communism. If you go to Vietnam right now, there are multi-generational families living in communism. No, you still have a family, and it looks like whatever it looks like. I want you to be able to have an even bigger and better family than you allow. I want people to be able to have families even if they don't look like the family you want, where kids and grandparents and cousins and all sorts of people will be able to take care of you when you're old, and we'll do it back. Everyone will be taken care of. The fuck is this? I don't want the state to be in your personal life at all. You don't know what a communist is. Let me in. Let me talk to these guys.
And the nuclear family is strong ties towards your children and your parents and your in and around your community, the 100 or so people you are most close to.
That's communism.
Replacing that with reliance on the state. And
no, letting the people that are those people for you be compensated by the state for providing care or community service is what communism really is. Essentially, taking corporations away from owning this aspect of your family life and giving it back to the people. Like, I would rather go to like mom and pop type places than a corporation anytime for any service.
That's just not how human beings work. Just like not how their economics work, because their economics are about trying to create everyone being equal, but some people have different needs, and everyone inevitably wants.
So each according to their need? That's communism. You guys like communism. You just don't know how to fucking think or talk. You guys don't know anything. You guys like communism, and you think the current problems are communism for some reason, when it's obviously capitalism is the system we have. I'm not even a fucking communist, guys. I'd like to be as hopeful as someone who is a communist, but I'm like just a leftist. I also don't like locking in to like, oh, I listen to Marx. He never fucking tweeted. He doesn't know. He doesn't have an internet. He's never seen a YouTube video. He doesn't know what the fucking complexity of the modern world is like. He had lots of really great ideas, and so did many of the others, and they didn't have a complete picture of the modern world. It's okay. We could take advice from the past and synthesize it into the future. So I don't call myself a Marxist or a communist or a Leninist or any of that shit, but I do sympathize with the leftist movement, and I think that the working class needs to have more power than any of the other branches of the world, especially corporations and governments.
Wants a little more than what they have. No one's ever fully satisfied with what they have. So you can give somebody, a family of 5, a little plot of land to live on. They're going to want some more. They're going to have not enough room, not enough food.
So go get more. What are you talking about? Communism allows for everyone to go, or whatever the fuck you're talking about. Like, the system that any leftists are advocating for absolutely allows you to go earn more stuff. It's like they're trying to keep you on the corporate tit so that you have to suckle corporations for all of your needs. Corporations own your food, your health care, your water, your energy, your shelter. I mean, what don't they fucking own? You need a corporation for every aspect of your life. And it doesn't sound like earning it at all. It sounds like you put these people in control of us. For what?
And it's inevitably your own hard work is what kind of elevates yourself and your family. And that's why the free market is better.
Yeah, hard work is...
The free market is not better. The free market is obviously more wasteful. There's tons of stuff you could put in free markets that would be fine and not unethical, but, I mean, survival necessities are not one of them.
Key right there, because people are different. And because people are different, communism will never work. It's a fool's errand. And even socialism, right? Because people are different.
I'm interested in that he delineates between socialism and communism. Like, what does he think the difference is?
You will always have different outcomes. Flat. And there are people who simply work harder than others and therefore accumulate more wealth and resources.
I really feel like communism is just a gradient condition of state control over industry as it moves past socialism.
It's the natural order of effect. And then people say, look at all the inequality in the world. How dare they have more than me? They must have robbed it from me and I'm going to take it.
They did. What do you mean they must have? But they actually did rob it, though. Yes. They are actually robbing the working class. It's true.
It is just such this nonsense, mentality of envy and jealousy.
It's not envy or jealousy. It's just like I am not jealous of a billionaire. I feel as though, I'm as jealous of a billionaire as I am of a leech on my leg. It is a pest. Billionaires are pests. They are pestilence. They are a disease. They are a corruption of this system, and they are sucking on us like a fucking tick, and it's getting fat, and you're like, no, don't pull it out. And we're like, yes, it's bad.
That, you know, ultimately breeds and pushes and supports and props up communism when it's, you know, the surface of it is all this flowery language, whereas we want equality and everyone treated fairly. But to achieve this thing, this fool's errand of equal outcomes, we inherently need to treat people unfairly and penalize those people who are working hard and have more resources and steal their things to redistribute it.
Okay, so none of you or any of the working class would ever be part of the people that need anything redistributed. And in communism, like real communism, you wouldn't even have that to redistribute because you would have already had the system. So like you're looking at like you're complaining about like redistributive capitalism. Like this isn't socialism suddenly if you like tax the rich or whatever, you know? That's not what socialism is. It could start towards socialism as you take more power away from corporations and spenders and force them out of government and their interactions with control of certain industries, and you give that back to the working class, yes.
And so the very premise of treating everyone fairly is achieved by inherently treating people unfairly, and it's just this...
No, it isn't. Jeff Bezos is not treated unfairly for not having like 99% of the wealth that Amazon nets instead of the workers that generate that wealth. Like they are literally generating the wealth. If there are no workers, there is no Jeff Bezos, right? But could there be a different CEO? Yes, because there is right now. It's not even fucking Jeff anymore. So like, yeah, man, they need more profit. The working class does. There was just a study that came out today about healthcare by Yale that said socialized healthcare in America would save the United States 114,000 lives and $1 trillion per year. Per year.
Bullcrap, nonsense ideology.
And we all know that's true.
But because it has that flowery language on the surface of, you know, oh, don't you believe in everyone having the same thing and all living in this, you know.
Ooh, wealth to scale. Wealth shown to scale. Scroll. $1,000 is that little pixel. Can you see it? Can you guys even see that dot? The median income, $63,000. $1 million. Wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, wait. I'll be honest. I know how much $1 billion is 1,000 million, and that still surprised me. 1,000 of these squares, 139 billion. The wealth of Jeff Bezos. This is 80 million. Every increment is 80 million. Oh, fuck. We're going to be doing this for a while. Wow. Hold on. How long does it go? We rarely see wealth inequality represented to scale. This is part of the reason Americans consistently underestimate the relative wealth of the super rich. Every 10 pixels you scroll is $5 million. Okay, we're coming up on the end now. Lol, just kidding. We're about 1/3 of the way. Keep scrolling, though. There's more to see. 48,506,500,000. All the money you will ever earn in your entire life from the day you are born until the day you die, about $1.7 million. Look at this. Look, I don't know. Can you tell? I'm only maybe a 20th of the way through this bar down here. Annual cost of healthcare for a family of 4. That's 4 human beings. What was that? Annual cost to house every single homeless veteran. Holy shit. We're going by 80 million increments. Annual cost of chemotherapy for all cancer patients, $9 billion. All cancer patients? Wait, he could fund all of it? It's only $9 billion? In 2018, Jeff Bezos made $9 billion in about 40 days. We could do this for an hour. We could just do this video for an hour long. Even the fortunes of very rich people are dwarfed by the incomprehensible wealth of the 0.1%. This is Beyonce. Wealth of Beyonce? Wealth of Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon? 50 mil? The Goldman Sachs CEO? Beyonce. Apple CEO Tim Cook, 625 million. Lifetime earnings of a doctor on average, 6.7 million. Lifetime earnings of a lawyer on average, 4 million. Lifetime earnings of a hedge fund manager on average, 84 million. By the way, if this doesn't tell you what capitalism is about, a doctor should make $84 million in their lifetime. In terms of like what's more important to our society, why isn't a doctor making more than this fucking idiot? These people may see themselves as fabulously rich and often oppose policies aimed at reducing inequality. It would help them too, dude. Yeah, this is why I don't even fucking care about millionaires. But many have not fully grasped the enormous gulf between themselves and the super rich. Mark Zuckerberg, 82 million. Wait, what the fuck? That's 200 million. The point has been made, but there's so much more. We can have a world in which wealthy people exist without handing nearly all money to the super rich. The vast majority of wealth last year went to the top 1%. 82% of the global wealth generated last year just went to the 1% of the world's population. 82% of the global wealth went to 1%. Okay. Anyway, they shouldn't even have heads.
Fool's Errand Utopia. It falls flat on its face, and it doesn't.
It appeals to the people who are the laziest, who are the most envious, who are the greediest. Because
Dog, it's not greed. Yes, the greediest people are the fucking billionaires, you fool. You don't like greed? Me fucking either. I don't like greed either.
Because they don't have a lot. That's why it's so appealing to people who are
Dog.
broke and poor.
You don't have a lot.
And damn near homeless at times, because they don't want to put in the hard work to get something. They want to put in no work and get a baseline level of almost nothing. I put a probably one of the greatest tweets of all time in the chat right there. This I love this tweet. Reminder: communism is when ugly, deformed freaks make it illegal to be normal and then rob or kill all the successful people out of petty resentment and cruelty. The ideology is just window dressing.
Y'all would be dead. Y'all would already be fucking dead. You're alive right now. What are you talking about? You're currently alive. Like not one of you has been eaten. So what's the deal? Well, if it's in a tweet, oh, okay.
And it's true.
I'm sure we don't have any Shadiversity tweets we could share here.
It's true. Thank you, Mystery Grove, for that all-timer right there. That's why you have people who are so just indoctrinated into this style of thinking, even if they don't say outright that they are communists, Marxists, or whatever, they're still spouting Marxist talking points.
It really is the philosophy of envy.
Yes,
it really is.
They really build anything for themselves. It's kind of like, that guy has more than me.
That's interesting because anytime one of them does, you get so mad at them. Hassan's a great example of this. Licking the balls of the richest people while they will die with nothing. Yeah, absolutely. These people are fucked. Their brains are mush, man. Why is there a generation of human beings that just want to cuck to rich people and can't imagine a world in which they don't prostrate themselves in front of someone that's collected a bunch of money? I do not understand this. I will never sympathize with the position. I think you are all vile worms.
That shouldn't be the case. He should share.
Yep. And then they also try and false frame everything, where they think everyone.
They all try to false frame everything when you just shared that fucking tweet, dude. Are you serious?
Who has more must have.
By the way, not a fucking leftist in sight of this chat. Don't like a fucking hug box, do you? With your safe space?
Obtained it illegitimately, and they usually focus on what the inheritance kids that just get they're the children of insanely wealthy people, and then they inherit all this money and they didn't really work for it, and they say that's unfair. First of all,
yes, you're right, it is unfair. Nepotism is bad. I don't mind if there's some wealth passed down to kids. Everybody wants to give their kids some stuff. Although not all rich people even fucking help their kids, which is also weird. But I think there should be a cap. I think in general there should be a wealth cap. I don't think we need to let runaway numbers on this thing. You win capitalism once a year when you make a certain amount of profit, and then you just go fuck off and do whatever you want all year. I don't care at all. Like, can you imagine if we just had a wealth cap? Done. It would solve a lot of problems.
The parents have every right to give their children as much as they want when they pass on. It is fair. The parents work for it, and they get to choose what they do for the
It
money.
could be absurd, too. $100 million a year.
But they usually try and focus on that and ignore that most of the rich people in the world actually had to work for it.
Jake's book would beat up Shadiversity's book. It definitely will. Even if mine doesn't sell a single copy, my book is better. That's a fact. I agree. No, they didn't. I agree with all of you in chat that I disagree with Shad, but more importantly, my book is better. The rich people are only rich because they exploit labor of people who work for them.
Okay. And then they like to ignore what is like actual rich because there are so many of these, champagne socialists that are actually rich, but they're not talking about themselves.
I'm sorry. So being rich is bad now? What the fuck is that? It's a champagne socialist if you're wealthy under capitalism while criticizing it. And wealth, by the way, not billions and billions of dollars. You'll never see a leftist with billions and billions of dollars that isn't making sure that money is used to good use. And I don't even think that'll ever happen. Like, none of us are seeking the kind of exploitation necessary to get $1 billion. I don't even think you can get $1 billion without doing unethical shit or working for someone who does. Those are the two ways. You get your money from someone who does unethical shit, or you are unethical yourself.
About the actual billionaires, Bernie Sanders, where it was always going after the
Bernie Sanders, known billionaire.
Billionaires. But hang on, he became a millionaire.
You can't do math. He became a millionaire. We should have called it something else instead of millionaire and billionaire. Could just been like millionaire and like a totally different word that sounds way bigger. These guys are so stupid. Bernie Sanders would have to collect $1 million 1,000 times to make $1 billion. The wealth difference in that, I mean, it's the difference in having $1 versus 1,000.
Millionaire? It's the billionaires. It's
the billionaires that are the problem suddenly, Bernie Sanders.
I remember that whole thing with Hassan where they say they find out that he lives in a mansion and stuff like that. And they're like, well, he lives in a mansion. He's like a rich guy. And then all of his fans are like, what, do you want to be homeless? And he's like,
it's a multi-generational family home in Los Angeles. Stop it.
He's like eating this really rich food or whatever. He's like, what do you want him to starve?
This really rich food orders a salad on fucking DoorDash. This rich ass food. Dude, socialism is when you have a house and food. These people are fucking vile.
You ever see the diagrams that break down how much what he wears actually is? My car doesn't cost as much as a lot of his clothes do.
Oh, sounds like we have some fucking jealousy from the capitalist cucks.
Sometime. And by the way, what is it with rich people, especially jackoffs like Hassan Piker?
Dude, they are like, what do you think is the billionaires are so bad? And now envious of rich people talking about Hassan Piker.
The richer he dresses, the more of a douchebag he looks like. How can you spend so much money on clothes and look so ugly?
Okay, dude. This guy's attracted to Hassan Piker. This guy wants you to think that he doesn't want to fuck Hassan Piker. Well, he doesn't want Hassan to fuck him. Are you serious? Stop. Hassan Piker looks ugly. I'm just gonna click his fucking media tab and scroll it. Look at this guy.
Motherfuckers would be like, oh, Hassan, you claim to be a socialist, but you have money. It's like, okay, you're defending capitalism. You got no capital.
Ooh!
Show me the deed to the factory.
Ooh!
What capital do you own? Nothing. Only thing you have to your name is a busted down 1994 hand-me-down Honda Civic that
Exactly.
your brother and you can't even get in that goddamn car.
True.
And you're over here talking about capitalism. We must defend it. You don't got shit. It's so funny for someone working a regular 9 to 5 to be like, nah, dude, one day I'm gonna be rich and then those poors better look out. It's like, it's not happening for you, bro. Why the do you think advocating for something that helps the super wealthy even further at your expense, at the expense of your living circumstances, why the do you think is one day gonna flip in your favor?
Yep.
It's so dumb.
Great point. I didn't know that was going to be there, but it was obviously poignant, serendipitous. Did that just say communism is crabs in a bucket?
I don't know.
Communism is crabs in a bucket personified while you literally don't have a job. You don't have a job right now. You're fighting, scraping, and scratching for a third fucking interview that you paid $20 for the privilege of having. You fool! Another fucking recruiter. Put your hands up. Make sure you're not AI. Shut up, dude. Crabs in a bucket. Typed by a fucking crab claw.
Gosh.
Brony ass.
What really annoys me the most about them is that one of the things that annoys me about them most is they're always fixated on the rich people are hoarding all the money. No, it doesn't work like that.
It literally does.
They worked for their money.
What work did Jeff Bezos do that is $139 billion more effective and efficient than any of the Amazon workers? It's one thing if you want to say, well, he's in charge of big, important stuff, and he's got a lot of stress. Okay, compensate him to some degree for the job that he's doing. I personally don't think any CEO is billions of dollars worth of productivity. I don't. I doubt that at all. This is exactly what Hassan was just talking about. You don't have capital. Oh, where's your fucking factory deed? He doesn't have one. Can't even afford a fucking webcam. This guy's still on a fucking Logitech pumping out fucking 560p.
There's not a finite amount of money in the world, and some people just happen to fall out of the sky and land into a pile.
There's not a finite amount of money in the world, so let's print more and give it to all the poors. What if we made everyone a billionaire so that no one was? That would be hilarious.
Whereas you fell into the ditch and had nothing. Listen, brother, I grew up poor. I'm talking dirt poor. There was a period in my life where we were literally homeless. We were living out of a camp at a campground in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Damn, sounds like capitalism is fucking awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
I just thought we were on vacation. My parents didn't tell me we didn't have a place to live. And my dad had to get up the money. And my dad lives the American dream. He did not.
That does sound like the American dream.
Graduate from high school. He started working out of pocket for construction guys. Eventually, he created his own construction company, bought his own land, built his own house. Mind you, this man built his own house.
Did you build your own house, or are you saying that your dad can beat up Shad's dad?
By hand. Him and some of the guys that work for him.
Chad, dude, you want to suck his dad's dick? That's weird.
And now he's in his 60s. Land's paid off. Vehicles are all paid off.
Can I jump?
It's all paid off. Listen to him. Listen to the cuckery here. Oh, the American dream. Having land that I paid off. I have very few bills. The American dream. This is like the guy the other day who said, dude, my life is fucking great. I have a $15,000 deductible on my health insurance. I'm living the dream, dude. Guys, you're prisoners. You're prisoners to this thought.
Can I just jump on something that really pisses me off, right?
His dad's dick.
Like, that's almost impossible now because of insane amounts of building regulation.
Oh, it's almost impossible to do that now under the current capitalist system that you're saying is good. Wait, you want the restrictions of building to go away, but Mayor Mamdani, the socialist Sharia law mayor, Muslim, is lowering restrictions to help people in New York build housing. I thought you said that was bad. And he's making sure that it's not just profit seeking. He's allowing for like renters to address the problems with their landlords, and he's freezing the rent. My God, everything's going so good. You fools, we can't slay dragons. That's exactly it. They earned that gold. You know that.
Like back in the day, you need a house. And the hardworking, determined man, like if he didn't have enough money to get someone build a house, he built it himself. But now you can't. The government will say, no, you're not allowed to build your own home.
Bear in mind, Dad.
This capitalist American government and the capitalist Australian government, which has healthcare, but
because my dad worked in construction, he knew about like the building codes and and the regulations. So he knew how to build a house that would pass inspection.
Oh, you have to have a house that passes safety inspections? That sucks. That's so bad.
just go and slap wood up. But
John, this actually goes back further, and I'll give some examples. But we're in a state now where the government would rather people be homeless than not build the homes the way that they demand. The way they demand, most of it is bullcrap. I'm in the process of trying to build a house right now, okay? And the amount of ridiculous regulation, because we have to hit 5-star energy rate, we can't even build houses on stumps now here in Victoria, Australia, because it has to meet this bullcrap energy rating thing. And building a house on stumps is way cheaper and way more economical in the sense of repairs and getting into the underside of the house and everything like that. And so all this government regulation is forcing you to like spend so much more money and inhibiting people to be able to build homes. If you
on stumps, he's trying to save money, and he's like, yeah, let's just build it up on posts.
Go back enough, right? Where the further you go back, less building regulations, less building regulations, less building.
Fewer building regulations. Yes, there were fewer building regulations back in the day when entire cities burned to the ground. It was a regular occurrence for places to burn to the ground. Chicago fucking burned to the ground. Like, what are you talking about, man? Washington, D.C. burned to the ground.
Regulations. The point.
No, not like a crawl space. I think he wants it up on stilts. He said on stumps.
Where people were able to just build houses the way that they were satisfied with. And so they would.
Yeah, and then your entire fucking family dies because you're cutting corners. I don't think it's reasonable for you to be that upset. What the problem is like zoning laws and stuff in some areas where they've cordoned places off, usually for commercial use or some other kind of thing, and they haven't. We have outdated zoning laws essentially. We need modern city planning with walkable spaces where you have a mix of residential and small business, no corporations, park space, garden space, just green space in general. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than to beautify or be a buffer between zones. Like, we need all this, and a place for wildlife. I'm lucky. I don't live in like a perfect city by any stretch. I have lots of problems with it, especially the bus system. But we have lots of greenery, and so it's very nice. And the temperature stays lower. He wants to use stumps as foundation. Is that what that means in Australia?
Just build it out of the materials they had. And you can look up in Canada, there are a thing called sod houses, where they literally built houses out of sod, which is the first top layer of, soil and turf in the ground. They would make bricks out of it, stack it, then surround the bricks in wood. And some of these houses are still standing today. And they actually have really good insulated properties because they're made out of dirt. Right? But not illegal. You can't build houses in all of these traditional ways that were perfectly fine for thousands of years.
Oh, when they were more indigenous? Oh, so you don't like the effects of colonization. Fascinating. Westernization even you don't like. It's always their own ideology that they hate. All of the things that you don't like is not communism, okay? Like, all of the things that you're talking about, like, none of that is communism's fucking fault. This is, right now, your system.
But because the government needs to step in and just micromanage everything, okay, they would rather people be homeless than be able to build their own houses. I can't friggin' stand it. Sorry.
I think, personally, we should definitely let Shadiversity build his own house exactly how he wants and let him deal with the consequences, but for no one else.
That's just one example of how large government is restricting people being able to look after themselves, and then who's going to look after them if they can't? If the government's stopping them, well, daddy's state. The government will come in and say, "Oh, we'll look after you. You just have to vote for us, and we'll take all the money and redistribute and all that friggin' bullcrap."
Man, brain dead, just absolutely brain dead. The government comes, and then who's going to take care of it? The government, daddy government, still, and then vote for us though. What is he saying? I really don't think he has even a cursory grasp of like what he's trying to have an argument about. Like, I don't think he really understands these laws whatsoever.
Stand it. But to round this segment off, okay, what I find interesting is that the way to force this communist bullcrap to work, okay,
I'm glad this guy's shut the fuck up for a while,
is actual true fascism. Taking away people's freedom and forcing them to obey these bullcrap laws. That's actual fascism, right? Okay,
It's not fascist to have fucking housing laws. It is not fascist to say, hey man, you can't have your fucking wattage too overpowered, it's fire risk or whatever, you know? Like, oh, you have to have, you know, your sanitation has to work this way, or your pipes have to go that way. Like, that's not fascism. Fascism is not just there are rules you don't like.
And look, that's
like you literally sound like the person that you were arguing is too woke earlier. This was supposed to be about Superman, but I don't know, whatever.
kind of the more generalized term. There is a political ideology of fascism, you know, celebrated and pushed by Mussolini and stuff. But if you were really like what people don't actually understand the historical meaning of the word fascism.
People, neither does this guy apparently.
Now it's just like anything that they don't like, to the point where
you just said that
the nuclear family, anything that threatens their ideology is fascist. Now, or if
you just said that was fascist. He just said that zoning laws on his fucking house, all that shit's fascist. What?
Not inclusive. It's fascist. When, if you want to go with the more generalized term, no, fascism is is authoritarianism, forcing people to conform to your ideology against their will.
That's what it's supposed to mean.
Today,
it just means normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Nuclear family, fascism. Being straight, fascism.
Fascism.
Having a police force, fascism.
Yeah, but the actual
having a police force straight. He's tied his sexuality to having police. Those are equivalent actions. Interesting.
ideology that
every time this guy fucking talks, it's dumber than anything these two guys are saying, and that's crazy because Shadiversity has been talking the most.
Practicing real fascism is the left, the extreme communist bullcrap left, are the actual definable fascists in society. But they love to twist and lie about them.
Well, they always project as well. They are born hypocrites, and they are always going to project what they are doing onto you. That is another tenet of Marxism, to accuse others of what you yourself are guilty of.
But that's what they've been doing the whole time. Dare I say that this is an act of projection right here?
They do it. They have ingrained this into their subconscious so much. They do it on a mental level. They don't even realize they're just parroting Marxist talking points that's a century old.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even realize it. They're like, yeah, we should have our necessities in the richest country in the world in the modern day. We should have our necessities met. Yes.
Oh my gosh! Like so, that gets me upset. But that crossed my feed.
Great, it's over. Let's go. We got through it. Fuck him. Oh god, dude. These guys are not bright individuals. What a draining task it is to experience Shadiversity, dude.